Okay, it is my great privilege to introduce our next speaker. Wow. Where do I start with this guy? I want one of these guys. I want 12 of these guys in Australia. Seriously, he is truly a remarkable young man. At 22 years of age, Adam Green resigned from his personal training job and made the commitment to embrace the Young Living business full-time. Adam was motivated by a desire to control his own destiny. How many young men at 22 want to control their own destiny? Very few that I know. So recently, at only 25 years of age, Adam became our youngest ever Royal Crown Diamond. I have to tell you, after 30 years in this business, and I've been with some of the biggest companies in the world, I have never seen someone hit this accolade, this achievement at this age. Never, never. So this is an extraordinary young man. What an awesome achievement for anyone, let alone someone who only left school 7 years ago. So if you're thinking, do I think I can do it? I tell you what, he is paving the way. If you're Generation X, Generation Y, take notes. You need to listen to what Adam's going to tell you. Adam has found a purpose in his life. He's living the lifestyle. He's living the dream that most people can only ever dream about. But he has a burning desire to empower others with their physical and, importantly, their financial well-being. And it's infectious amongst his dedicated team members. So we are very privileged to have Adam and his wife Vanessa join us in Australia to share his journey with us. So please be upstanding and help me welcome new Royal Crown Diamond, Adam Green.
I've been a Young Living member, or user I should say. I've been a user. That makes it, been a Young Living oiler. User sounds like it's illicit. But I've been enjoying the benefits of Young Living essential oils for 15 years. My parents are my sponsor. That's my mom up there. She is a physiotherapist and acupuncturist in Canada. She's been in clinical practice for 34 years and has been using Young Living in her practice for the past 15. So I was raised in a natural health background. I was always taking potions, lotions, and concoctions. At 25 years old, I just had a birthday. I'm 26 now. I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20. But I know, I'm getting up there. Just wait till we tell some stories about my younger days. But at 26 years old, I've yet to ever fill a prescription in my life. I've never been to a doctor for anything but a broken bone. Which always starts with, hey guys, watch this. And then I do something that's not the smartest. I've never broken a bone without somebody watching. So I think that there's an oil called Common Sense. You should use it a little more. So I've been a full-time Young Living distributor since November of 2011. It was then that I decided to leave my personal training position and to embrace Young Living full-time and really take this business under, take control of it, take control of my future. And since then, I've been able to grow a great organization, predominantly out of Canada. So we're kind of like the same. We're part of the Commonwealth. We're an international market. And so we have experienced what it's like to grow an international market, which is why I'm very excited to be here with you today and share some of those things with you. I've been able to achieve Royal Crown Diamond in November of last year. And above all, I just love serving the Young Living community. My journey was one that most people have been on. I was following what I viewed as a traditional plan A. I had a paradigm laid out in front of me that I was going to graduate high school. I got a little gold lanyard, which means I got good grades. And then I went to college, and then I got a job. That was what was laid out for me as a young adult. That's the only plan I had ever had poured into me. Most young adults at the age of 18, when they're graduating high school, what's the number one question we ask our youth? What do you want to be? Where are you going to school? It's implied that if you are not going into a post-secondary field, that maybe you're not smart, you don't have enough money, or something like that. So I followed the traditional paradigm, and I had an awakening throughout this process that my plan A wasn't maybe the best plan for me. I here's something you can write down. The most expensive thing you can have is a closed mind. And most people might go through life without ever having their mind open. But at 22 years old, 21 years old, I was open to more opportunity because I wasn't ever a math major. I didn't enjoy math, but I ran some quick numbers through my head that are fairly easy to follow. Throughout this journey that I've gone on and that hundreds of thousands, millions of people go on every single year, when I look at the numbers behind this plan A, and now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's not a place for higher education, there's not a place for skilled professions, but right now I believe we are funneling a lot of people into a system that is not exactly cut out for everyone, that is not 100% required, and the debt level we're putting on our young adults is astronomical. In the U.S., statistics show that there's over $1 trillion in student loan debt. That's more than all credit card debt combined. In Canada, it's over $15 billion. It takes an average of 14 years to pay off a student loan. That's an exorbitant amount of time. And so I looked at what my plan was laid out for. I was spending about $30,000 a year going to school. I went to school for 2 years, so I put in $60,000 worth of time, or money, and also 2 years of time and lost wages because I was a full-time student. That gave me the opportunity to have my personal training job, which was paying me approximately $30,000 per year working full-time. And my plan A was to take that for a duration of 40 years. That's the general plan A that we usually carry. And so I just ran some simple numbers on that plan. If my goal is to work full-time for the next 40 years, so I've got 40 years of work, 50 weeks a year, 40 hours a week, that's a cumulative total lifetime work of approximately 80,000 hours. Everyone follow the math there? It's not algebra, it's not trigonometry, all the things that I maybe had to cheat on in high school to get through. But it's pretty straightforward. And so I looked at that 80,000 hours. What was I going to have left after that? Likely I was trading my real golden years, the time where I probably got the most optimal health and wellness. I've got a family that I would want to spend a lot more time with. And so I found myself kind of confused at why so many people were only putting their eggs in that basket, and I was thinking there has to be a better way. And so I was open to looking for other ways to earn an income because I was only trained to trade my time for dollar. If I didn't show up at work as a personal trainer, I didn't get paid. I worked there for almost 3 years, and they've never sent me any type of paycheck since because I haven't showed up. And it's just not how that model's built. And so when I was looking at that model, it seemed to me that there was room for improvement. And that's when I was introduced to network marketing and Young Living as a vehicle or a plan B, something that I could do part-time with what I was doing full-time and generate better benefits. Because I realized at an early age that time was our only limited commodity. It's the only thing that once we spend, we can never get back. Most people are used to trying to get a raise. We're trying to get more money, and often we sacrifice more of our time for it. If you get a raise, you often work potentially longer hours, more. Yes, you have more money, but you've got less time to potentially spend it. So I was open to finding a business model that had leverage built in and that also allowed me to earn outside of trading time for dollar. Instead of being paid by the hour, I was being paid by the value I brought to the hour. In June last year, I got married to my lovely wife, Vanessa, here. And so that is a time where you're probably not going to work as much. We got married June 7th. We went on a honeymoon after for 2 weeks to Hawaii. Most young couples, when they get married, they're spending a lot of money on that wedding. They go on a honeymoon, and then they come back to the workplace, and then they don't see each other 40, 50 hours a week. They split ways, and they go and they try and pay off likely the high level of debt they acquired through the marriage process. In June, I didn't go to work too much. I didn't do any meetings. We just had our Young Living convention in June. And my compensation in June was the highest I'd received to date. It paid for both my wedding and the honeymoon with surplus left over. Because I had brought value to the company for the past 2.5 years, they were still receiving value from. So there's a real power to what our business model offers. I realized that most people do network marketing every single day. We're just not paid for it. Network marketing is nothing more than recommending and promoting a product or service that you like We do this every single day without even thinking about it. This is my first time here to Australia. Anyone here who's from the actual Gold Coast, you're a resident, if I asked you for a great restaurant, the best beach to go to, where I could get my hair cut, everyone here would have a recommendation that they'd be more than happy to give me without any expectation of compensation backward. Young Living, if someone says, hey, I've got this health challenge, or I'm looking for a way I can earn extra money, and you refer them to the company, they offer compensation back. This is a beautiful survey that I found. This is the Nelson Global Trust and Advertising Survey. And if you can understand this, every company has marketing dollars. Every company is trying to gain their share in the marketplace. And this is a global survey. It's not North American, it's not just Australian, it's across the entire globe. They looked at, to what extent do we trust the following forms of advertising? And if I've learned one thing in this business, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So trusting the form of advertising is an important thing. Top 2 that people trust: recommendations from people they know or word of mouth, and consumer opinions posted online. How many people, if you're looking to shop for a new phone or a new hairdresser, do you go on your social media account and say, hey, I'm looking for yada, 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 and then all your friends give you an opinion? We look at websites like TripAdvisor. They're simply consumer opinions posted online, and we then, as consumers, make purchase decisions based on the referrals and recommendations of others. If a company is going to invest in marketing, you would think that they would want to invest in marketing that is the highest paid form, and that would be those top 2. We look at other traditional companies, maybe a company like Bose or Nike. They invest in some of these other things, such as brand sponsorships, ads on TV, ads in magazines. The Super Bowl just happened a couple months ago, big American sporting event. A Super Bowl commercial costs $4 million for a 30-second spot. Yeah, that would be a 30-second spot. An ad on TV. Less than 50% of people actually trust that form of advertising. All the coaches have Bose headsets on. It costs Bose an estimated about $50 million to have that little Bose logo and have all the coaches use a headset. So they're assuming that anytime they do a headshot on the coach, that people will see the brand, they'll recognize it, and hopefully they'll generate some revenue from that advertisement afterwards. Nike, very big global brand. To have that little Nike swoosh logo on the jerseys, $220 million per season. It's a lot of money. Companies, big companies, these are the top of their market segment, just like Young Living is the top of our market segment. They're investing multi-millions of dollars into trying to get brand awareness, recognition, and hopefully generate more sales. Young Living understands that those forms of marketing are not potentially the best forms to invest in. So they instead take all of the marketing dollars that they might spend on that otherwise, and they simply reallocate it to commissions based on performance in the marketplace. To me, that seems like a very smart way to do business, seems like a very legitimate business model. If you don't perform, they don't compensate you. If you bring more value to the company than somebody else, they compensate you more. And this was mind-blowing for me because I was trained under the paradigm that the only way I ever got paid was off of my effort showing up at a job. So this was a massive paradigm shift and breakthrough for me. And if this is one paradigm that you can break through, is that we have a very legitimate business model. It's actually a smarter way. It's a better way of doing business because they're not wasting marketing dollars just spending on an ad and throwing it on TV and hoping that, it's like throwing mud at a wall and seeing what sticks. They're paying based on performance in the marketplace, and that's awesome for everyone here in the crowd because if you bring more value to the company, then you'll get compensated better. And that was very exciting to me in my early 20s when I was younger. And it still is exciting now. We look at our global company sales. This is all the way back since 1994 to 2013. That's a good growth chart. Doesn't matter what type of industry you're in, what company, if you're a stock market, whatever, you look at that growth curve, that's a curve that most people would want to be a part of. And you might look at, right here, 2012, 2013, and you might think, oh, it looks like they've hit some critical momentum. I might have missed the wave. My timing's not right to get it going. You look at 2014, Look at that big jump, 2012 to 2013. I'm going to screw up all you picture people. Boom, well, I got someone. So you see, this was the big jump before, 2012 to 2013. You look at what 2012 to 2013 looks like, it's dwarfed in comparison. That was over, I believe, 200% growth in 2014. Travis shared that they grew more in 12 months than they did 19 years prior. And the real exciting part of that is, you know where the predominant growth came from? It wasn't Australia. It was North America. The reason that's exciting for me is because, well, it's more exciting for you than it is for me. Believe me, I'm trying to get my piece of pie in the Australian market too and empower all y'all. But the big growth curve hasn't happened here yet. It will. It's happening in Canada right now. As an international market, we have grown rapidly in the past 2 years of an open market. Australia actually has a variety of advantages over other international markets, especially Canada. We're a very relatively new market. We just had our 2-year anniversary. Our product offering is about 60 different products in our market. How many products do you guys have here in Australia? Someone say 300? 3? Over 300. So in Canada, I believe we just reached the point of being the largest international market with like 60 products being offered. And it gets me excited for when we get a product offering like you guys have, but what the foundation has been laid here in Australia. It's a solid marketplace to now have rapid growth in, and everyone here is perfectly positioned to take advantage of that. I've only been a full-time member for just over three and a quarter years. I know one of the big myths in network marketing is timing in general, that you have to maybe get in on the ground floor, that you gotta be there when it's early. When the company was founded, like Gary was sharing, 21 years ago, maybe 25 was the roots of it, I was about on the ground floor as possible. I was about this tall, causing trouble at home. I didn't have the opportunity to get in on any ground floor. There's over 1 million people who joined the company before me, but yet as a Royal Crown Diamond, I find myself in one of the top 20 distributors in the world, the only one in Canada. That's, again, great news for everyone here, because it's not based on the time you join, but it's based on the time that you show up. And you guys are in a great position because you guys showed up. I don't know how many members are in Australia, but you guys are the top echelon or percentage just by being in this room here today. You'll be given information that will allow you to take your business to a level that others might not have those same skills or information. You've got a great advantage by being in here today right now. I shared what I didn't like about my plan A. I was going to have a boss for my entire life. I was going to work 80,000 hours, and American statistics, this is a statistic I got from Brian Tracy, he's a big American entrepreneur, but at the end of everyone's workforce life, 65 years old, 40 years in the workforce, the average American has $41,000 in net assets to show for that lifetime working. Breaking down those numbers over 40 years, that's just an accumulation of about $1,000 per year in net worth. Think about what you can do with Young Living in the next year to make your net worth a little better, to provide a secondary income into your home. I didn't want to have a job. I didn't want to be told when to show up, how to show up, if I could ask for time off work. There's no residual benefit to my job. When I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. I didn't get to choose the people I worked with. I had a limited earning opportunity. I was only ever going to earn a certain amount working as a trainer. I would never have the opportunity to earn what I do now as a Royal Crown Diamond in that position. And so I was looking at what I had on my plan A that I had willingly invested, $60,000+, 2 years of education, plus my entire high school years, making sure I was getting those good grades. And then I looked at what was a plan B, which what some people would think, when they start hearing about a home business, they're like, oh, well, why are you doing that? When I looked at the numbers, I'm thinking, why are you not doing that? To me, it seems like it's crazy in today's economy to not have a secondary source of income, because job security is a thing of the past. You guys have Target here in Australia? We don't in Canada anymore. They closed down. Did you know that? Is that a new fact for everyone? Target was only in Canada. Holy crap. Canada. It's only in Canada for 2 years, and they pulled every store from the Canadian market. They lost over $2 billion, I believe, in that 24-month period. Countless layoffs. I believe 18,000 people got laid off in that one chain closing. Sony, anyone have a Sony product? Sony TV? No, it's LG. Maybe that's Sony, I don't know. But Sony just closed down all of their retail chains. The business, the marketplace is changing right now. It's shifting from brick and mortar to online and getting away from the high cost of having retail outlets. There's clothing chains all across Canada that are closing their doors because it's simply too expensive to pay for that retail space and to have all the overhead of stock and inventory and people working for you, your employees. It's just a busy model. And so home-based business is actually a super smart way. You don't have to carry any inventory. You've got unlimited earning potential because you can bring as much value to the marketplace as you want, as you choose to, a low startup cost. Everyone starts their business for a few $100s or less. Does anyone in here own a franchise? Or know somebody who owns a franchise? No franchise in Australia? Oh, there we go. I know a few people, and it's hundreds of thousands of dollars just to buy that brand, to get in there. And if you pay it off, that initial investment in your first 5 years just to break even, you're doing awesome. So we've got a phenomenal low startup cost. You get to choose the people you work with, choose your own hours. You can work this around your schedule. And keep in mind that what we're doing is we're simply recommending and promoting a product that we like. You don't have to, there's obviously things that you can do to step out of your way and do things a little differently, but when you're going to your child's sporting events, when you're at work, you're already talking around the water cooler about things that you like and enjoy on your daily basis anyway. You can be your own boss. There's massive tax advantages. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accountant. I don't pretend to know Australian tax laws, but I encourage you to talk to your accountant because I guarantee that there is tax savings that you're leaving on the table by not owning a home-based business or you're maybe not capitalizing on. And there's also a residual and willable aspect to it. I shared that I've never got paid from my post-secondary education since I stopped working as a trainer. I've never showed up at work. I've not got a commission. If I didn't show up to Young Living for the next 30 days, I'm still getting some form of residual commission from the value I built and brought to the company to this point. And willable is a huge aspect because what you're building now isn't just for you. This is a legacy business for your family and for your future. Young Living's been around for over 20 years. We're growing faster and stronger than ever. We've got a massive foundation in place. So what you're setting up now isn't just for you. This is for your future generations. I have a very good friend and mentor of mine who owns his own network marketing company and has for longer than I've been alive. And he shared with me last week that he was paying commissions to a grandchild of one of his original distributors. Through a series of unfortunate events, the grandparent and then the parent had both passed away. So that business had been passed down, and he was writing commission checks to a 14-year-old granddaughter. Does your current plan A offer that benefit? Probably not, especially, for me at 20, I keep trying to say 25 years old. I'm old now. When I'm 26, there's no way my job would ever offer that benefit. In fact, I've been working this business full-time for under 4 years. I couldn't even get a degree in that same time frame. To get that degree, I likely am giving up 4 years of my time. I'm studying hard in a library. I'm not in the workforce, and I'm likely coming out with a very, very, very expensive piece of paper that hopefully I can get fulfilling employment in. And with this business, there's no education or background required. It's very inexpensive to get involved with, but that's also one of the big downfalls because people treat this often like it's a $150 business because it's too easy to get into, it's too easy to get out of. If everyone here was super serious about building your Young Living business, and in order to be a Young Living distributor, you had to pay $50,000, we would have a lot less people in the room. But the people who are here, how much more committed would you be knowing you had $50,000 in that you got to break even on? You wouldn't just hear one no and think, oh, I'm not cut out for this. I don't think I can do this. You would have a lot more persistence in your step. And so I encourage you, go look at the U.S. Young Living Income Disclosure and just take a look at what kind of dollars are available for Young Living's global members. the dollar amounts are quite impressive, something you will not be able to earn in other skilled trades, especially with all the benefits listed here. Treat this like you would if you were going into year one, you're a freshman in university, and you've got a 4-year plan laid out in front of you. The people who drop out year one, they're not the ones who are getting degrees, they're not the ones who are getting the benefits of that higher education. I encourage you to put in place a 4-year plan that you will be here 4 years from now. This will probably be your entire organization in the room at this event. We'll need a football stadium or a rugby stadium or a cricket stadium. And keep in mind that this is a lifestyle-friendly business. I love that terminology. You can write that down, lifestyle-friendly. You can work this around what you do. I'm not advocating you drop your college courses right now or run out and quit your job. But I encourage you to take a stronger stance in working this intentionally, full-time. When you have business hours, be working on and in your business. Don't be just doing some posts on Facebook and hoping it's just going to blow up. You have to put in intentional time and effort and work it into your current lifestyle. It's kind of grainy, but you get the point. This was a real, again, paradigm shift, because when I was a trainer, there was, I believe, 7 other trainers who I was working with. We were all paid a certain amount that was very relative towards our education. And then there was 1 training manager and 2 owners. The only way I ever was going to move up the corporate ladder was by replacing somebody else. There wasn't room for all of us at the top. It wasn't based on them helping me get to a certain level. In fact, it's all about maintaining a status quo, right? In this business, it's a business of helping people, empowering people. And the most beautiful part with Young Living specifically is the only way we ever earn an income is by helping people. We only get compensated by bringing value, PV, to the marketplace, which means we're putting healthy products in people's homes. We're helping them get their best physical, emotional, spiritual wellness of their life. And then we're also supporting them in their financial goals. So Young Living offers wellness, purpose, and abundance. And I think all too often we focus not too much, we focus a lot on wellness and purpose, and we just leave off the abundance. And we think, I don't want to mention that. I'm not going to mention that. I don't want to seem like I'm money hungry or anything like that. And we have all these preconceived notions, limiting beliefs in our mind, these beliefs that are holding us back. And when I realized that the only way I earn more money is by helping more people with their financial health. And I believe it was Mary Young, or she quoted someone else, but she said, good people with money do good things. And next person up after me is going to be talking about some of the great things that Young Living is doing with their money, with our distributors' money, in supporting great initiatives around the globe. And so we're able now to, as a family, we're able to donate more in a year than we used to make in our previous jobs in 3 short years, which is a great thing when you can support the causes that you know and love. And so if I can have you leave here with one thing, it's believing in our business model as much as you believe in our products. Because if we truly believe we've got the best essential oils in the world, that we can help people with their health and wellness, we're going to do that. But often I think we lack a certain belief of how our company does business, because we've got preconceived notions of what people think about us, what the marketplace thinks about us. Just because you had a bad experience with a car salesman, does that mean you're not driving a car anymore? No, but because some people potentially have had a past experience with a different company, they all of a sudden think, I don't want to do network marketing. It's simply a form of distribution. It's all about how a company does it, the product you're moving in the marketplace. And so I encourage you to really open up your mind. Again, the most expensive thing you can have is a closed mind. Shift the paradigm on how you're viewing our business. When you truly believe in our business model as much as you believe about our products, you will see a transformation in your business. Our group has grown in Canada from 3 years ago. We had about 300 members. Now we're almost at 35,000 members in 3 short years. Even in the past year, we've added almost 25,000 new members into our organization in 12 months. It's compounding, it's geometric progression. There's 2 specific tools that we use heavily in our organization to build belief and credibility around our business model. The first one is the 4-year career. This is a great 60-page book. There's a specific Young Living edition which has Young Living success stories in it that will allow you to understand how our business model works, to overcome some of the myths and objections you might encounter along your journey, and will allow you to not only shift your own paradigm, but it's a simple and effective tool that you can use with your members in an inexpensive way to transform their beliefs around our business. And there's a new full-length 50-minute documentary that came out in November of last year called Rise of the Entrepreneur. You can find that online. They've got per-view rentals. You can find it at risemovie.com. This is a full-length documentary, very, very well done, lots of great information in it. It's got 26 different very well-known business speakers. Mark Victor Hansen wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. Les Brown, he's one of the top 5 motivational speakers in the world today. I talked about, they're all escaping me now. Richard Brooke, who wrote The 4-Year Career, is featured in it as well. It's a great overview, and keep in mind that the most expensive thing you can ever have is a closed mind. This is something that when I show to people, they get why our business is so important, why having that plan B is so crucial in today's economy, and to really understand that the only way that you have job security and true financial freedom is when you wake up in the morning and you look at your boss in the mirror. That's what I want for you. I believe in you. I know that the corporate staff here believes in this country, this company, and I'm very excited for what you guys are going to do in the next 12 months. Very impressed with Kirsten Todd and all the information she was sharing with you and her vision. I encourage you to lock arms with her. We're here in Australia for the first time. We know what is going to happen here in this marketplace. I can't wait to see what your growth curve is going to look like in the next 12 months, and I'll be back here tomorrow to build a little more belief into you in another crucial area. I encourage you to realize that insanity, Einstein said it best, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. When I was in my early 20s, when I was younger, I looked at my 40-year plan and how many people had gone that route before me and what they had got as an expected outcome, and realized that I might be potentially insane to go through that same path and somehow magically expect a different result at the end of it. It changed my paradigm. It changed how I viewed my business. And, realize, think where you were 12 months ago in your current situation. Another 12 months is going to go by, another 24 months is going to go by, and if nothing changes now, it won't change in the future. Jim Rohn said it best, for things to change, we have to change. For things to get better, we have to get better. Tomorrow I'm going to share a little more about my story and experience and how my belief shifted just under 3 years ago and allowed us to go from, I was a silver for 3 years, and then after I really shifted my belief, went from silver to diamond in 11 months and have since grown crown and royal. I know that there's greatness within all of you right now, and no matter what, we're going to bring it out of you. We're going to go change the world by bringing essential oils to every home, and we need all of you to do that successfully. Thank you guys so much.